Thanks for checking me out once again. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is manifesting and getting their way in life, okay? I want to say a happy fake ass New Year. And the reason why I call it a fake ass New Year is because for me, I don't celebrate New Year's in the wintertime. So, for me, it just doesn't make any sense. Everything is dead right now. And I know a lot of spiritualists who feel the same way. Like, we don't celebrate New Year's January 1st. We typically celebrate our first day of the new year is in the springtime. I know that a lot of Asians and, Chinese cultures, they tend to do it that way. But the springtime is when everything is blooming, okay? And when everything is awakened. Typically start mine off the spring equinox. So the spring equinox is when you can look it up for yourself and kind of read up on it. It's when it's equal day and equal night. Okay. And so that's when I typically will do, my New Year's. Typically that's when the first day starts for me. So, that's just my way of doing things. But for everybody that, do the January 1st, I mean, I say Happy New Year's when people are like, Happy New Year, whatever. I don't like to keep explaining myself to people and you don't want to sound, so I just go with it. But I tend, that's why we do spring cleaning. When you think about it for a moment, spring cleaning. It's when you clean out everything, dust off everything, and make things new again. So I'm a nature girl. I follow what's going on in the earth, and that's what I do. That's how I determine my holy days. So I don't go along with the masses. So okay, and if you're on this channel and you're watching these videos, I'm sure you're radical too. So, but I hope everything is going well with you guys. I wanted to do a video about sin. And it's a word that's always thrown around, and it's a religious concept where people talk about sinning against God, or sin is transgression of the biblical laws and different things like that. And I want to give my perspective on what I feel sin is. And it's not going to come totally from like a biblical standpoint, okay? Because the Bible is all about giving your energy and your power to another force. And so that's what this is not about. That's not what this channel is about. It's about you becoming your own best spiritual self, okay? So I want to talk about sin in essence, and we're going to look at it in go into the Bible a little bit. I don't want to make this long because my daughter will be here in a minute. And I want to get this video done. I've been gone for a minute because I had a little tooth problems, and you can't be on here talking and and your teeth hurt. Okay, so I had to get that fixed. I hate the dentist, so I've been treating it with herbs for like years. So I hadn't been on here for a minute, but I'm back, y'all. I haven't forgot. I ain't fading out this time. Y'all gonna see more of me. So if you don't like me, too bad. You're gonna see a lot of me if you keep looking. So I'm in it this time, y'all. We gonna do this. So y'all stick with me because I'm just getting started. It's so much stuff I want to share with you guys. You don't have to agree, but just hear me out. And I'm hoping that, I spark a flame in your life. I'll be that little spark, like just that little and then hopefully from there you'll find out even more, okay? And tell me what you learned. I need to know. But anyway, guys, look. So we're not going to talk about it from really a biblical standpoint, but we're going to come from what really, really is sin and what are God's laws, like the true laws of God, source, the great God of all, from which we all spring from, like source, okay? Source energy. So you have to understand when you're looking at the Bible or religious factors, their ideas of law, there was no separation between religion and the laws of the land. Like you see how we'll have spiritual laws that we may go by. We have our own spiritual self. And then there's laws in which, we're governed by according to the land, like, speeding, get a speeding ticket. I mean, and some of these laws are good. I'm not, we do need a particular order. Okay. They could be better, but hey, let's take it. So those laws were typically how they lived in the land. And I mean, all of these laws were basically anytime you're reading something, okay, just know that when a person writes something down or it's in someone's writing, that means that this is a person or person's idea of what God is. Okay, so anytime you hear spiritual law, and there are laws written by, even if it's in a book, I don't care where it is, it's the people around you, it's their ideas of what a God is. These laws, God don't write books. Okay, so people can say that they're inspired by God, but that is still their own interpretation. So in your KJV Bible, if you look in your Old Testament, there are 600, I believe, 600 and some odd different laws about what fabrics you should wear. And all of these things are about pleasing a society. Okay, these laws did not really come from a God. The only true laws that came from source itself is called universal law. And the reason why we say universal law comes from God is because these laws are not written by man's hands. This is not someone's idea of what God is or someone's idea of what God would consider sin. Okay, look up universal laws. There are principles in which we all are governed by. Okay, like the law of polarity. There's up because there's down, left, right. The law of self-preservation. Okay, that's one of the first laws. So universal laws are typically laws that are universal, like gravity, different things that we are bound to. Those are laws that typically come from God. These are laws that cannot be changed by man. Many of these cannot be explained. These laws define anyone's writing. So for me, universal law and principles are the only true laws that come from God. Any other laws that you see, whether it's on the earth or if it is a religious or spiritual standpoint, if someone wrote, it's their own laws. Of course, people have called it universal law, but when you look into it, you'll see that no one can create this. So anything that can't be created by us, it comes from source. It's a supernatural, or it's something we call divinity. Okay, so that's what universal law is. So when you get into something called sin, I feel true sin, because whoever created us to come here and be God of ourselves, for us to be ruler of our own selves, to have our own right to it. Okay, sin in essence is anything that you do that goes against yourself. Okay, that is what true sin is. Anytime you do anything that goes against your own moral reasoning, you are sinning. Okay, it has to be something that goes against principles that you stand by. It has to go, if you're going against your own moral reasoning, then you are sinning. That is going against your spiritual self. Okay, so say for instance, if you will even allow somebody to talk you into something that goes against something that you don't stand for, you are sinning against yourself. So if you doing something that you know is not right, that you feel is wrong, you see what I'm saying? That is the sin. And sin equals death, because most of us are dying from diseases. You'll hear your Bible say sin equals death, because most of us are dying from diseases because of things that we're holding on to, things that we did that we felt we shouldn't have done. Going against our own. That's why I tell people, anytime somebody says they want to put a hex or a curse or something like that on somebody, and I tell them, I'm like, make sure you think this out. Because if you have even the doubt of a mustard seed, not the faith of a mustard, if you even have the doubt of a mustard seed, it won't work and it will backfire on you. I don't believe in something called karma. See, the religious Bible will want you to think that there's someone sitting there governing everything that you do. Angels sitting there watching and going back telling on you, and telling some guy in some book he's sitting here making a list, checking it twice, trying to find out if you naughty or nice. I mean, that crap, okay? That's why they tell you these lies when you are a child, to prepare you for a fabricated Bible. So when you sitting there and you're thinking somebody, no, that's not true. Nobody's sitting there governing everything you do. That's why some people do things and there is no consequence to them. Think about that for a moment, because that person is not going against their own moral reasoning. They don't feel that anything they've done is wrong. Don't get off into dark stuff if you know you're not a dark person. Many of us sin against ourselves, and we are sinners because we're living a lie. We're living a life that is not us, and we're trying to be something that we're not. Even if that's good. If you're not a good person and you keep trying to be a good person, maybe it's just not going to work because it's just not in you. You didn't come here to be good. And eventually your dark self is going to come out, probably in ways you never expected. I'm just being honest with you. Some of us don't. And our problem is that we think everybody has the same moral reasoning, and we don't. Everybody don't feel like something is evil because you do. So think about this for a moment. Evil is very subjective. Evil is subjective to each individual, and it depends on what side of the side you're on. Like, say, for instance, okay, let's just use this as an example. Okay, one group of people decide to murder another group of people. Okay, now to the people being murdered, the murderers are evil. But maybe the people that are doing the murdering, okay, are trying to fight for their freedom. Maybe they're trying to get something back that they originally had. Let's just say that, let's just put it like that. You see what I'm saying? So one group of people may be feeling like they're defending themselves, while another group of people are going to feel like this act that's being done is evil. So see what I'm saying? Evil is subjective depending on how it benefits you. This is why people pick religions based off of what they already feels, goes along with their moral reasoning. So you're not going to pick a religion that already don't stroke your ego or your moral reasoning anyway. So most people pick, because there's several different religions that you can, they all got different rules. Some of them are kind of the same. Thou shall not do this or that or the other thing. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to feel like we're all going to be judged the same and there's some God that have these rules and we all have to follow by them and we're all going to be judged the same, because we're all not given the same circumstances on this earth. Everybody is not given the same set of tools to work with, okay? That's just like some people, thou shall not steal, okay? It's wrong to steal, right? You got a wealthy person that goes into a store and they're stealing for kicks. This person got all kind of money. They're in the store and they're just stealing because they just want. And then you got somebody else who's poor, don't have nothing to eat. They're going in the store stealing because they're hungry. Now, both are a sin. You get what I'm trying to say? So how can they both be even? How could the person that's hungry be judged at all? Really, when you think about it, moralistically, this person knows, look, I'm going to get this food because I'm hungry. I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. This grocery store, they are not going to miss this food. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I don't eat. I'm going to die. I don't want to eat out the trash can. I'm just not there. I'm hungry. Versus this person who is just doing it, for the heck of it, just to get a kick out of it. You see what I'm saying? So there is no premise of what is good and wrong for everybody to abide by. It just sounds ridiculous when we're all not given the same circumstances. You see what I'm saying? So sitting there thinking, if that's the case, why do you have the masses? They'll murder masses amount of people. Are they being punished? Because to them, what they're doing is moralistically right in their mind. The universe is an interactive system. So it's not built upon right and wrong. It's built upon energy and the vibration that you give off. That's why I don't concern myself with karma. Karma is not a reality to me, because I don't do anything that moralistically goes against my reasoning, my morals, my principles. That's what it's about. When you tell the universe, I'm wrong for what I did, oh my God, I should be punished, the universe say, okay, and so shall you be punished. There go your punishment, because that is the vibration. You are giving off the energy of guilt, and therefore you will be punished, because that is what you're telling the universe. But when I heck somebody or I do something to somebody I know they deserve, I do it with gladness and joy in my heart. There is not an ounce of me that feel like I've done anything wrong, because I'm living in my own truth. See what I'm saying? My truth is revenge. My truth is payback. Some of you might try payback and end up getting your own self knocked off. You see what I'm saying? You're not living your own truth. That's why it's not good. You allow yourself to sin when you let other people talk you into stuff. And we do that a lot of times. We step out of our own boundaries. We do things that we know is not right. You don't need anybody with a book telling you this is wrong, that's wrong. You instinctively know what is wrong or right. Yes, we teach children, but instinctively, no matter, it's some children in this world, no matter what you have taught them, they still gonna be what they are, because that is what they are. That is their truth. So that is the sin that you create in your own life. Okay? You become a sinner when you go against your own self-preservation. When you do things to put yourself out there that goes against you. Okay? Another way of sinning is when you eat things, okay, that are not good for your body. When you destroy your temple in ways that you know you're not supposed to. When you smoke and your mind and your subconscious is telling you this is wrong for me. I shouldn't do this. So that's the energy you give out to the universe. Therefore, your own body will attack itself. That is what autoimmune disease is. It is your body attacking itself. That's what it is. Your body turning on itself. You don't understand how important your mind is and how you yourself play a role in your own spirituality. See, in the Bible, the people caught you eating pork and they would stone you to death. I never, when I was a Hebrew, I never understood why would they stone somebody to death for eating some shit. They wanted to eat that. That's their own self. Why are you worried about it? That's that person's diet, because it's about control. That's what religion is. It's about control. It's about mind control and other people telling you how to live. And there is no one set way for us all to live. If that's the case, we would all be born into a world with one set way. Two parents, a house, we would all have, but we're not. Therefore, your moral reasoning is not going to be the same as mine. You see what I'm saying? Yes, we do grow and we elevate ourselves. So like I said, in the Bible, they would stone you to death or punish you. You don't need anybody to stone nobody to death, because if you keep eating stuff that you know is not good for you, you're going to end up with some disease and you're going to die. And you're going to die a painful death. A lot of these cancers, diabetes, and different things that we are coming up with, is all because of our diet and things that we're doing that we know is not right. So therefore, when you do things to your own body, eat things, indulge in food, indulge in entertainment. Well, that's true too. Not protecting yourself and what you see, but indulge in different type of foods and things that you know is not good for you. Yo, excuse me, I'm tired. When you do these things, you're sinning against yourself. Do you know that a lot of times the reason why we can't treat people good is because we don't know how to treat ourselves? And that is the problem right there. You're like, well, how is sinning always about you? Because you are a reflection. So therefore, you don't want to tell somebody else they're pretty and you don't feel you are. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to treat, because the energy is not there. That's why the key ingredient is know thyself. Most of your magic or your spiritual walk is going to start with you. So as you keep trying to look for God, the only thing that you're going to keep finding is yourself. And realize that you've been governing you all this time. Nobody else. Let me tell you something. When people want to do stuff anyway, they'll take the Bible and flip it all kinds of ways to justify what they really want to do. That's why it's so many interpretations to the Bible, because you're trying to find ways to live the life you want to live anyway. So why are you holding on to someone else's way? Find yours. Who says that you're supposed to be governed by a book and someone's interpretation of something? Okay, so that is the true sin, is when you're going against your own self, whether it's food, whether it's allowing other people to talk you into stuff you know is not right. You see what I'm saying? There is no karma. You are the judge of yourself. You know, many times that's why some people never get caught doing anything. You wonder why some people do things, because they don't feel bad about it. They don't feel bad. They've made it up in their mind, and to them it's okay and it's right. See what I'm saying? The laws that are of this earth, it don't stop people from doing what they want to do, because people gonna do what they want to do anyway. So I mean, this whole channel and everything is to try to get you to embrace your own self and your own path in your own way, and to understand things from another perspective, that you don't have to work hard to try to please a biblical character out of a book. That is not in essence what God is. Okay, God is not, God don't write books. God don't do YouTube videos. You see what I'm saying? We have been taught, because all wars basically have been religious based. You see what I'm saying? Religion was a way to keep people in line, to make them fear dying, to make people fear thinking for themselves. So if I tell you and I train you that what I'm saying came from a divine force, and if you don't listen to me, then bad things will happen to you. What are you going to do if you keep being told that? You see what I'm saying? I'm controlling you now. You see what I'm saying? And you don't have to do that. Believe me, we pay for the things that we pay for our sins. And most times, most people that end up even getting killed, many times we bring these things on ourselves by not doing what we know we should do. We don't get out of abusive relationships. We let other people talk us into staying, even though our mind is telling us to go. Even though, and then when you get knocked upside your head and you don't wake up no more, sin equals death. See there? When you don't mind your own business, when something tell you, hey, you know what, let me just stay up out of this. You don't listen to yourself. How many times do you say, I should have listened? You see what I'm saying? Going against your own reasoning. Do what you know. You can't let other people be what they are and be yourself. And I think that is the most important thing that we all can do for ourselves is to be ourselves. I think this is the generation where people are starting to wake up, and starting to understand themselves better and not giving so much of their power to others. And once we do that, we'll have more spiritual liberty. You'll see that your life is not decreasing, that it's increasing. And now you feel powerful instead of always cowering and asking something out in the sky to forgive you for something. It doesn't make sense. How do you know if he's forgiven you or whoever is forgiving you? How do you even know? You just assume, well, they said they'll forgive me. He'll forgive me. You see what I'm saying? Forgive yourself. That's what you don't do. You're always asking for something and feeling guilty. And that's why bad things happen to you, because you walk around with chips on your shoulder. I don't believe in karma. All that threefold law and karma this and karma that. Look, I do what I want and I do what I feel is right. That's what I do. Learn for yourself and learn yourself. That's the most important thing I think any of us can do. So this is not a very long video. I just want people to look at what sin is from a different perspective and not look at it from an angle out of a religious standpoint of what spiritual law is. You are the spiritual law. You are the person to judge yourself. You see what I'm saying? You are the biggest judge ever. No one's standing over you. No. And then they'll always say in the church, well, the devil blesses his children too. You got people doing some of the most foul things on this earth and are still happy, still prosperous, because to them, they're living their own truth. You see what I'm saying? And you'll have people, I always see people who think that they're goody two shoes and they're miserable. So because you're not even really being yourself. A lot of people who claim to be light workers and different things like that, they're really fake. They're really fake. Deep down inside, they just as rotten as anybody. They ain't really like nothing. They're just weird. You see how that's just my opinion. That's why I will never try to pretend to be nothing I am. I'm not a beacon of light. I'm not, I'm me. And you gotta be you. And what I feel is wrong or right, you ain't gonna feel the same way. You see what I'm saying? Going around trying to condemn people all the time, that's not gonna get you nowhere, okay? Because they're not seeing it like you do. So that's all I really wanted to say, you guys. I hope maybe you guys can look up universal law, look up self-preservation, look up things like that. I mean, I really do feel that this channel is be very beneficial to people who are really looking and searching for other alternatives than typical religion. So I want you guys to please check out my spiritual supply store, Crystal Creek Botanicals. You guys really support the business. Is really helping me to keep doing this and doing what I'm doing, you guys. I have all kind of candles and different things. I think the website is really awesome, and I think you guys will really enjoy going on there. We got to really support each other. There's crystal stones, natural soaps. We got all kind of figure candles. talisman and all type of things that you use, herbs, essential oils, just all kind of stuff, spiritual bath teas that you can use in your everyday spiritual life. So you guys support my store, and just stay connected. I thank you guys for subscribing. Please share my video with others, and I'm just trying to let this get this channel to grow. We're going to be talking about a whole lot more different topics and stuff. And so you guys, I just thank you for everybody that shouted me out and that have supported me so far. It does mean a lot to me when you're trying to grow your channel from the ground up. It's like, but I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing, you guys. I really enjoy doing this, and I thank you. So all the positive energy, I love it, and I give that right back to you guys. Okay, take care as always. Bye bye.